Hello and welcome to Client Meeting Video Conferencing API documentation. Here you will see how within just 5 minutes you can add video meeting capability into your web and mobile applications. So let's get right to it. This is a vanilla JavaScript API which could be integrated with most of your web applications as is. But if you have specific integration requirements like React.js, then you can come down below to this section here and start here instead. To begin with, you will need 3 values from our side. The first is a domain name, second is your consumer ID, and the third is a test JWT using which you will be testing your integrations. So these details could be shared by us over an email, or you could even find these details within your user dashboard under the generate test token section. For the sake of this demo, we have already generated these so that we can use these in the code snippets and show you how it works. First of all, open your favorite code editor. Create a new file called test.html. Go back to the client meeting documentation getting started page. Scroll down to the bottom of it until you reach the example meeting page right here. Copy over this code snippet and paste it into the newly created file. Here you can see a to-do section where you are being asked to edit the domain, consumer ID and JWT before using this code. So let's do that. So we are going to copy the consumer ID, domain, and the JWT. Okay, once we have done that, we are just going to save this. We are going to open this file directly in a browser of your choice. So for this demo, we are using Chrome. So let me double click on this. Allow microphone access. And as soon as I do that, we are in. So this is a test video conferencing room, a live room, which is active right now. And people can join this room, and it has all the video conferencing features that you will ever need. So now that we have seen how easy it was to start a conference using this piece of code, let's have a quick look into what this code actually contains. So let's imagine this test.html file that we just created is hosted as a web page on your platform, and you are trying to integrate video conferencing within that web page using our video API. So the steps include that within the body section of that HTML page, now you could be using different libraries. Your implementation might vary here a little bit, but effectively within the body section, you need to add a div element with the ID called my meeting, and this is going to be your video conferencing element. So in this demo, you might have seen that the video conferencing element is running full screen, but if you want to change the position or styling of that element, you can do that from right here. Next are these script tags right here, which are importing client meeting JavaScript library into your code. You can upgrade the version from right here. And lastly, this is the pair of script tag which is used to initiate and end the meetings, and it is also used for controlling the various aspects of an ongoing or a new meeting. You can add different methods, change properties, you can listen on certain events happening within the meeting, so that you can take an action based on that. So in this basic example, we have included a domain, consumer ID, and optional properties, which takes the JWT token, but optional properties takes many more properties to control the meeting behavior. Then we are creating a meeting object and attaching these two methods right here to that object. The first is the generate room name, which generates a random room name. And the second is anonymized display name, which generates a random participant display name. Now you could also pass specific room name and a specific display name through the optional properties. More details you can find about these in the customization and control section right here. Finally, on page load, we start the meeting, and on page unload, we end the meeting. Now this is a very basic implementation, and although it is basic, it is sufficient for most of the people. So if you are not looking for any additional customizations or controls, you can start with only this, with of course specific room names to connect people to the same meeting. But if you are looking for a more advanced implementation, then there are a lot of customization options available within this documentation. So please feel free to explore the documentation further, and do let us know if you face any issues or have any questions.